Let's talk about money in politics. Let's all talk about money in politics. I mentioned it in the monologue. This guy who flew under the White House lawn with the gyro, it was like a bicycle with a propeller, right? And all I saw in the media was like, let's talk about the gyroscope or the gyrocopter, and let's talk about no security. And nobody talked about why he did it, which was to bring attention to a very important issue. Maybe the most important issue is that elections are bought and sold now by billionaires. This guy is a hero to me. I'm not going to make fun of him.
I agree.
And also, you know, again, the media covering bullshit this week barely mentioned that Hillary Clinton actually did make news when she said we should have a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics.
I mean, I think the big change in politics over the last couple of years has been the Citizens United decision, which, you know, in my view, wrongfully decided that money is speech, which is, you know, truthfully just crap. I mean, money is not the same as speech. And it's created this arms race to see who can win an election through their pocketbooks instead of through voice. And that's the system. And it's too bad it would take a constitutional amendment. What should really happen is the Supreme Court should change the decision it made. We went through years, decades without that decision in place. That's the decision that's the way in which the court has really perverted the democracy.
The only way you win is with money now. I mean, the person who raises the most money always wins. And I tried to run for these folks who couldn't give me $5. I mean, those are the people who politicians should be listening to.
Right.
But I had people pressuring me every day, spend 40 hours a week on the phone, calling people outside of your state, outside of your district, ask them for money. And you know what? If you never talk to the people in your district, that's okay. Just raise more money and run more ads, and that's bullshit.
Politicians are telemarketers now.
That's why
they spend all their time on the phone begging for money.
I think that's a really important point, because the psychic toll it takes to just do that and do those cold calls and do that. The other thing is it's more insidious because it's not as obvious, the actual influence buying. You know this. It's never, all right, I'm going to give you $5,000 and you're going to vote on this. You know, it's much more an ambient scandal.
And you find that you want to please these people. I mean, even I, who didn't get into it for this purpose, found with all the pressure for asking to raise money, that I found that when I'd get on the phone with someone and they'd say, well, how do you feel about this issue? I would start researching them on the internet to find out, make sure I didn't offend them. You know, I mean, and that's from someone who I think I have a core, and I know a lot of these politicians sure as hell don't. And if I find myself falling into that trap, you know some of these screw-ups are definitely falling into it.
Well, a politician's unit of commerce, right, is pleasing the person they're talking to.
Of course.
So you put money into it, and it's an explosive combination.
But the reason it attracts so much money is the bigger government gets, the bigger the stakes get, right? The more government there is, the more money it's going to attract. If you want less money going after government officials, you need smaller government in general.
That's not true,
whatever the problem is.
States, you have small states, right? Texas, states where the government is smaller and smaller. The budget, the amount of money spent in the elections are bigger and bigger. There's no correlation.
Because all those people are eventually ending up in the National Congress.
Whatever the problem is, whether it's the environment, whether it's health care, whether it's any of these issues, the reason we don't have anything done on them, the reason we can't improve, we can't improve the environment is because people are paying to make sure nothing gets done, to make sure their side. I mean, if we got money out of politics.
But wait. Another reason is because the blue-collar voters who should be voting for your party somehow got fooled into not voting for
these ads.
I'm not saying it's your fault.
No, I know, but it's the money.
Right, money. But money wouldn't work if people couldn't be fooled.
I don't know what's going to fix that.
And also, we can't say it's always just money. I mean, look, in the 2012 election, President Obama campaigned for a tax increase on wealthy Americans, and a lot of wealthy people supported him. So it's not like everyone votes their interest in every election.
And this idea that nobody's getting anything done in Washington, President Obama, under his first term, did 4 massive pieces of legislation. You'd have to go back to FDR to get all that done. So don't tell me nothing got done. I didn't like those policies, but he got them done.